Chosen one, stop exactly what you are doing right now. Do not dare scroll past this urgent message today. I am not politely asking for your attention right now. I am issuing a severe spiritual warning to you. The enemy is working overtime this week to keep you completely distracted and confused, and he desperately wants you to swipe away before you can finally hear this vital truth. Lock your attention firmly on the sound of my voice. Heaven dispatched this urgent warning directly to your screen because you are in immediate danger. There is a very specific reason why your life feels so incredibly heavy lately. You have been wondering why every time you are about to succeed, something suddenly breaks. You thought it was just a random string of terrible luck, but what I am about to reveal will expose exactly how the enemy is listening to your private plans. If you leave this video now, you will walk right back into a massive spiritual trap. So you must stay with me until the very end. Take a deep breath and listen closely to my words. That quiet exhaustion you have been carrying deep in your bones is not a normal feeling. You wake up completely tired, even after sleeping for 8 full hours. You feel a strange, heavy pressure in your chest when you are around certain people. You honestly thought you were just burned out from working too hard, but your spirit is actually exhausted from fighting brutal battles you were never supposed to fight. You have a truly beautiful heart that constantly wants to share your joy with the world. Whenever God gives you a brand new vision, you immediately tell your close circle because you simply want them to celebrate with you. And almost immediately after you open your mouth, the energy in the room drops. The exciting plan gets heavily delayed or completely falls apart before your eyes. You sit alone in the dark, wondering exactly what you did wrong. Stop blaming yourself for these sudden heartbreaking failures. You did not do anything wrong or make a foolish mistake. You simply handed your divine blueprints to people who were secretly assigned to destroy them. Your pure kindness made you blind to the intense spiritual warfare happening right inside your own home, because the enemy does not need to read your mind when you willingly hand him your entire strategy. He just uses the insecure people standing closest to you. Look very closely at the people who suddenly appear when you have good news. They smile brightly and tell you how incredibly proud they are of your progress. But your physical body naturally reacts to their toxic presence. Your stomach instantly drops and your throat feels tight when you speak to them. That is not social anxiety making you feel nervous. That is your spiritual discernment screaming at you to shut your mouth immediately. They are counterfeit friends sent by the enemy to drain you. You are a generational cycle breaker, and that carries a truly massive weight. You are not a regular human living a difficult and mundane earthly life. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, currently operating in dangerous enemy territory. Every single time you speak about your future, you are sending massive ripples through the unseen spiritual realm, and the enemy always feels those ripples to prepare a counterattack. When you carry a spiritual anointing that heavy, your spoken words become literal weapons. Right now, you are standing at the absolute most dangerous intersection of your entire life. Heaven is preparing to release a massive blessing that will change your family lineage forever. The enemy knows he absolutely cannot stop the blessing from coming down from above, so he can only trick you into aborting the miracle before it fully manifests in the physical world. And his absolute favorite method is getting you to talk about it prematurely to the wrong people. God is demanding absolute strict silence from you in this specific transitional season. You must instantly stop seeking emotional validation from people who are secretly competing with you. You have been acting like a giant emotional sponge for far too long, absorbing their toxic energy and freely giving them your pure light in return. This deeply uneven exchange is exactly what causes your chronic daily fatigue. It is time to cut the spiritual supply line completely. Every single small detail you give them is another sharp weapon forged against your destiny. When you excitedly share your sacred dreams with unhealed people, you invite their dark doubt into your atmosphere, and their secret jealousy creates a very heavy spiritual block over your entire life. This is exactly why God is saying, shut your mouth right now. You absolutely cannot afford to leak any more divine energy to these hungry energy vampires. Your ultimate survival depends entirely on your ability to embrace the deep silence. The enemy is desperately trying to provoke you into explaining your actions and choices. Do not take the tempting bait today or tomorrow. I am going to explain the exact spiritual protocol that will turn your silence into a weapon, and you desperately need to hear this if you want to break the cycle of delay forever. Do not let your busy mind wander away from my voice. You look around your life right now and you see a lot of empty chairs. People you once trusted deeply have suddenly walked away without any real explanation. You spend most of your long days sitting in complete and total silence, and the loud world constantly tries to tell you that something is terribly wrong with your mind. They look at your isolated lifestyle, and they immediately diagnose you with clinical depression or severe anxiety. They tell you that you are just being overly sensitive and pushing everyone away for no good reason. But I need to completely reframe your reality right now. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not suffering from some random worldly condition. This intense isolation is actually a highly orchestrated spiritual insulation designed specifically by the Most High. God actively cleared your physical room because the people in it were carrying toxic frequencies that could not travel into your next dimension. He saw the hidden daggers carefully concealed behind their fake smiles. He had to separate you so you would finally stop talking to them. Think back to the very last time you received a beautiful piece of exciting good news. You were so incredibly happy that you immediately called a close friend to share the amazing details with them. But something very dark and strange happened right after you happily hung up that phone call. I want you to remember that exact heavy moment clearly in your spirit. Within just a few minutes, your entire physical body felt like it was walking through thick and heavy mud. A dark cloud of intense confusion completely replaced your joyful excitement and pure peace. You probably wondered why you always feel so incredibly exhausted right after sharing your biggest personal victories. There is a profound spiritual reason for this sudden drain, and I will reveal exactly why that dangerous energy leak happens later in this message. If you have ever felt that sudden, unexplained exhaustion after telling someone your good news, I need you to confirm it right now. Type the number 777 in the comments below as a physical sign of your spiritual agreement. This simple physical act tells heaven that you are finally recognizing the invisible warfare happening closely around your spoken words. You have always been the ultimate emotional sponge for your entire family and your entire friend group. You are a chosen one who naturally heals broken people just by sitting quietly in the exact same room with them. But your beautiful empathy has unfortunately become a dangerous spiritual liability. The enemy actively uses your desperate need to help others as a direct weapon against your soul. Every single time you try to heal a counterfeit person, you end up handing them the sacred roadmap to your own divine destiny. You speak powerful words of life over them, and they secretly use that golden energy to build heavy blocks on your path. God is severely angry about exactly how much precious spiritual currency you are wasting on people who secretly hate your inner light. That is exactly why the Father is aggressively commanding you to keep your mouth completely shut in this transitional season. Your deep silence is not a harsh punishment for being a bad friend or a distant relative. Your silence is a sacred protective shield actively covering the fragile seeds of your glorious future. You are currently carrying a massive breakthrough that requires absolute dark incubation. You are the appointed watchman called to stand sentinel over your entire generational lineage. A true spiritual watchman does not foolishly shout his secret plans to the wind where the waiting enemy can easily hear them. He observes the darkness in absolute disciplined silence and only speaks when heaven gives the direct and clear order. You absolutely must learn to master this quiet power today. I know it feels incredibly painful when people deliberately misunderstand your new quiet boundaries. You want to desperately explain your side of the painful story and prove that your intentions are purely good and loving. But every single time you try to frantically defend yourself, you are stepping completely out of your divine alignment. You absolutely do not need to defend your sacred calling. God is confidently stepping in to fight those massive invisible battles for you right now, but he desperately needs you to stop interrupting his miraculous work with your constant talking. When you remain completely and totally silent, you force the panicked enemy to fight completely blind. Your disciplined stillness is actually the most terrifying thing hell has ever witnessed in this generation. The old season of being a chronic oversharer is officially dead and completely buried. You are confidently stepping into an era of untouchable and supreme spiritual authority. But there is a silent worldly noise that is actively trying to break your vital focus right now. Listen carefully, because this next part is going to reach deep places inside you that you have never been able to understand. The loud world constantly told you that being quiet means you are weak or completely defeated. They truly think, because you do not argue back, you have lost the important battle. But let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs completely backwards. Your deep silence was never a sign of fearful surrender. Your sudden silence is actually the most lethal spiritual weapon you have ever activated. You are the chosen cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. A true spiritual warrior does not fight with loud and foolish words in the crowded street. He fights by holding the sacred frequency of heaven completely steady while the dark world panics around him. When they tried to heavily provoke you into a loud argument, they were secretly trying to steal your divine alignment. But you stayed quiet, and you won. But keeping that profound silence has definitely taken a massive physical toll on your earthly body. You feel this intense pressure in your mind, and you probably think it is just from working way too hard at your daily job. You are deeply exhausted all the time. Your precious brain feels incredibly foggy and heavy. But this is not normal worldly fatigue making you feel so completely drained today. What you are actually experiencing right now is something very specific and highly dangerous. Your sensitive nervous system is being aggressively forced into a constant state of survival. It is heavily trapped in a low frequency of permanent reach and constant calculation. This is the exact striving frequency that the modern world manufactured into a toxic way of life. Modern instruments measure this chaotic noise as beta hyperactivity. The enemy absolutely loves this chaotic beta frequency because it acts like a thick static noise over your spiritual intuition. When your brain is constantly trapped in this striving mode, you cannot clearly hear the soft voice of the Holy Spirit. You try desperately to pray for clear guidance every single night. You ask heaven to show you the right path, but the loud, worldly static completely jams your divine reception channel. There is a very specific reason why your physical tolerance for this loud distraction has completely changed lately. Heaven is urgently trying to pull you out of that toxic beta noise right now. There is a deeply hidden secret about how the ancient sages completely shut off this exact same noise thousands of years ago. I am going to reveal exactly how they activated their divine receiving channel in just a moment. Do not let your mind wander away from my voice right now. You absolutely must stay with me, because understanding this frequency shift is crucial for your ultimate survival. The enemy desperately wants you to stay permanently locked in that chaotic, striving state. He wants you frantic and exhausted. He wants you oversharing your sacred plans to find fake peace. But God is calling you back to the quiet authority of the watchman. To truly stand as the powerful watchman, you must completely embrace the heavy discomfort of being deeply misunderstood. Worldly people will definitely call you arrogant when you finally stop answering their highly intrusive questions. They will confidently say, "You have changed," and become completely cold to them. Let them think whatever they want to think about your new boundaries. Truth honors truth in the end. You are no longer required to translate your profound spiritual journey into a simple language that unhealed people can easily understand. You are officially released from the heavy burden of being their emotional sponge. It is completely over, and you will never have to go through that painful, draining cycle ever again. Heaven has officially revoked their access to your precious spiritual energy today. Every single time you close your mouth and refuse to defend yourself, you are actively starving a dark entity. That specific demon was assigned to feed entirely on your precious life force energy. Your beautiful emotional restraint is literally starving the darkness to death. You are breaking a heavy generational cycle just by sitting quietly in your room and completely refusing to engage with their toxic drama. That is exactly why the spiritual atmosphere around you feels so incredibly heavy right now. You are literally shifting the atmosphere of your entire bloodline by doing absolutely nothing but remaining in peace. Your silence is a sacred covenant with heaven that clearly says you completely trust God to clear your path. You do not need to force doors open anymore. You just need to hold the sacred line. Stay closely anchored to my voice as we go deeper into this mystery. Your intense isolation is not a dark prison cell designed to punish you. It is a highly protected incubation chamber for your massive upcoming breakthrough. Listen carefully, because the greatest spiritual warriors in history had to master this exact same silence before they could ever wear their heavy crowns. Remember earlier when I asked about that sudden energy drain? You always feel exhausted right after sharing your good news. Here is the exact spiritual truth heaven wants you to understand today. Every single time you announce an unfinished plan, you create a massive spiritual leak. You are literally bleeding your precious divine energy. You pour your pure light into a room full of secret skeptics, and their hidden doubt aggressively siphons your sacred strength before your miracle can even fully form. You thought you were just sharing a beautiful blessing with your close friends, but in the unseen spiritual realm, you were actually handing the enemy your exact coordinates. The enemy absolutely cannot read your private thoughts. He does not know what God is secretly building inside your spirit. He only knows your next move when you voluntarily speak it into the loud, earthly atmosphere. That is exactly why your sudden silence makes hell completely panic. I need you to look very closely at the greatest spiritual warriors in history. Think about the young shepherd boy named David. He was secretly anointed to be the mighty king of his entire nation. But he did not run into the crowded village square to foolishly brag about his shiny new crown. If he had proudly announced his divine elevation, the jealous king would have killed him immediately. David held that massive secret quietly in the dark wilderness. He let his profound silence protect his fragile destiny. Look at the profound quietness of Joseph when he was deeply betrayed. He was aggressively thrown into a dark pit by his own jealous brothers. They hated him entirely because of the massive prophetic dream he foolishly shared. That painful betrayal taught him the absolute ultimate spiritual lesson. By the time Joseph actually became the supreme ruler of the entire nation, he had mastered the powerful art of strategic silence. He learned that sharing your sacred vision too early only arms your bitter enemies. Now think about Moses standing completely alone before the burning bush. God gave him the exact massive blueprint to free an entire generation from heavy slavery. But Moses did not go back and seek validation from the brutal slave masters. He did not ask his doubtful friends if they thought the divine plan was a good idea. He kept the sacred strategy completely hidden until the exact moment heaven ordered him to finally speak. True spiritual authority is always born in absolute isolation. The enemy sends specific people into your life strictly to gather intelligence. They pretend to care about your daily struggles just to report back to the Dark Kingdom. They want to know your exact next step so they can place a heavy block right in front of it. But when you suddenly shut your mouth, you completely cut off their spiritual supply line. You starve the demonic intelligence network